This is the All Things Nerd Podcast, Season 3, Episode 38. On tonight's show, we talk about Spider-Man returns to the MCU. We all hoped it would happen, and now it's happening. We also talk about some other stuff. Kevin Feige is going to be doing a Star Wars film. We're going to talk about Last of Us 2, because holy crap, it's finally coming. And the second interstellar object found in space, along with a lot of other stuff, because it's a big packed show. We have a lot of rapid fire nerd news for you, and of course Nick Cage. So sit back, relax, enjoy the show, and here's the intro. Hello to all the Geek Enthusiasts and Nerd Aficionados. This is Mess 5150 with another All Things Nerd podcast. On tonight's show, we got quite a few people. I'm going to talk about who's here with you, and then we're going to have a nice little fun game where we're going to figure out a new way of talking about all of us this week. But you have me, Mess 5150, on the show. Also joining me on the cast right now, we have Masonic Vader. How are you, sir?
I am well, sir. Excited to be back on the show. Let's get this thing moving.
Let's try that again. How are you, sir? Go ahead and say it, because I cut you. I didn't have it tripped over to you. Go ahead.
I was feeling good about being here at the show, but apparently I am not wanted, so I will leave now.
Cool.
You just weren't on camera. I wanted you on camera. All right. Also
Single
joining
tier.
us on the
Single
show.
tier, by the way. Single tier.
Single tier?
Single tier.
Why don't you go get that tatted on your face so people can think you've been in jail?
Gangster. Gangster, homie.
You're going to look like Johnny Depp from Crybaby.
Shit.
If I'm so lucky.
That single tier joke reminds me of that old Vine video with Charlie Classic where it's like a suburban white dad trying to be hard. I swear if you don't shut up back there, you would be my first teardrop.
Okay, and that is Mind Freak. How are you, sir?
What's up, everybody? Glad to be here again. And if you haven't noticed, it's going to be one of those shows where me and Vader go back and forth because we haven't been on Talking Smack lately, so we have all this pent-up smack talking that we'll probably dish out tonight.
True that, sir. True that.
Awesome.
True that.
And as of right now, the last person we have on cast is A.A. Ron. How are you, sir?
Fantastic, man. How are you?
I'm great. And Icy Zora will be joining us. However, he has a computer that... What the heck was that?
Someone's in a submarine. For Red October.
I thought that was Icy Zoro's computer booting up and getting him on.
No, that would be my Xbox. It's on, and I forgot I had the volume of my TV on, and the notification just popped up.
Okay.
Just missed him.
Red October, stunning boy.
All right. Yeah. So Icy Zora will be joining us, but yeah, he's got a computer that's not running at full capacity. It's trying to update. He says he's at 100%, and
I think he said something about he's on floppy disk number 9 of 12.
I remember those days. Okay, so until he gets here, we're going to start with our cold open. What I was talking about for that is one of our favorite games coming out that we can't wait for. We're getting an announcement for one game already that we're very happy, but another one that still hasn't hit the shelves yet is Cyberpunk. And on Twitter was having some fun with it and decided how you would figure out what your Cyberpunk name is for the game. Your Cyberpunk name would be something that you do like for your first name, along with something that you don't like for your last name. So
no, I think you said reverse. Do
reverse?
not like.
Okay. Either way. Yeah, no, that's right. Yeah. Because of Icy Zoro's name, if he's not able to say it. So yeah. Yeah, so something you don't like with something you do like. What we came up for me, so for this week's cast, I will be known as Quiche Boba Fett. So I couldn't figure it out, man. So I am Quiche. Masonic, do you got your Cyberpunk name?
I'm going to let you guys go ahead because the age is kind of creeping up on me a little bit. So I'll have it in a second. So we'll defer to the Mind Freak.
Oh my god. Something I hate and something I like. Okay. Fortnite Blood Sword. Hate Fortnite, but the idea of having a sword and having it all bloody is nice.
Okay.
Fighting in me.
So we were talking about Cyberpunk, and for some reason, Mind Freak ended up in a fantasy story.
Yeah. I hate. Well, I mean, it's something you hate, something I like. I like a bloody sword, but I hate Fortnite.
Now?
Yes. Yay!
Oh, good lord. Okay, what about you, Aaron? What are we calling you for this week?
I have no idea, to be honest with you. I like whiskey. I don't like. Well, I don't know what I don't like.
Nothing.
There it is.
Whiskey.
I don't know whiskey.
Nothing whiskey. I don't know
whiskey.
I don't know whiskey.
Sounds like a spaghetti western name.
Coming this summer, a film by Quentin Tarantino.
So
I don't know.
So
Whiskey?
far on the cast, we have Quiche, Fortnite, and Nothing as our name.
That's the way you gotta say it. You gotta. I don't know. Whiskey.
I don't know.
It's
Okay,
the.
I don't know.
It's the answer to everything. What do you think about the selection?
I know what you don't
I
like
don't know.
because nobody likes this person. I know what you don't like.
What?
The little freaking fairy from Zelda, because nobody.
Oh, Navi?
Yes.
Oh yeah, screw that guy.
Yeah. See, there you go.
Navi whiskey.
That's actually not a bad name. Okay, Masonic.
All right, I came up with one. What I do not like are the Twilight movies. So Twilight.
Mm-hmm.
And what I do like, Glenlivet.
So Twilight Glenlivet, Twilight Livet.
Or we could just go with wrestling, Twilight wrestling, either or. Yeah.
But you, yeah, you like wrestling, yeah.
Yeah.
Twilight
Nothing
wrestling.
fancy, but I hate Twilight. Can't stand it. Ruined vampires forever.
Icy says he'll be here in 30 seconds.
That sounds like a stripper name.
30 seconds is what? Two
While
hours?
we wait, we have Commander Root and Red Meepaw watching and viewing. Thank you guys for joining us.
Am I wrong? Twilight wrestling sounds like a freaking stripper name.
I like Red
know
Meepaw's cyberpunk name. Red Meepaw's cyberpunk name is Chardonnay Coffee. And also sounds like a terrible drink.
Yes. That just sounds like you're having a rough morning in the ghetto.
All right, we stalled enough. Icy Zoro's in on the cast.
Hello.
How are you, sir?
Oh, fantastic. Now
Okay.
that piece of junk updated.
What's your cyberpunk name?
My cyberpunk name is pretty clear. Something I don't like, something I love. Pickles PlayStation. That is also my new porn name. Pickles are evil. Pickles are what happens when evil gets into a cucumber.
There we go. That works.
And
all
why
the
would
PG.
you?
Why
Why would you ruin a perfectly good cucumber like that? And then PlayStation, I've been lately, so yeah.
Yeah, I decided to wear my Boba Fett shirt so everybody can remember that I am Quiche Boba Fett. Because I don't care what you say about it. I hate quiche. I can't stand quiche at all.
It's an egg. It's an egg pie.
Yeah, it's disgusting.
For me, it's kind of hard to do those because there's not really anything that particularly sticks out that I really hate the most. But the like stuff is difficult because I like a lot of things. What can I say?
Red Meeple says pickles are what. Red Meeple says pickles are what happens when fairies fart. Okay, on the cast tonight we've got we've got Fortnite, we've got pickles, and we've got good lord, I already forgot Masonic's
Good job.
what was it?
Twilight.
Twilight and Quiche. So thank you guys for joining us on tonight's show. If you're enjoying what's going on here, head on over to malice-corp.com. That's where we have all of our previous episodes. In fact, they will all be up within the next 24 hours because I've been loading them all up on the website. They are available now on YouTube at our YouTube channel. So if you want to watch any of the previous stuff with full edits and with sound and everything, not just us randomly talking, you can check it out on YouTube at the Malice Corp channel. And as always, if you want to interact with us, head on over to Facebook on the Facebook group page for All Things Nerd Podcast. And that's what I got to say about that. And now let's move on to what we usually start out with, is what we've been geeking out on.
Ain't nobody got time for that. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time. Ain't nobody got time for that.
Getting your geek on is talking about what we've been doing for the last week to tickle our geek fancy, to nerd out, and to check out what's going on with pop culture. My stuff, I got nothing because it's all the same as it has been for the last few weeks. Oh no, sorry. Sorry, no, yeah, Arrowverse. But Saturday I went to Universal Halloween Horror Nights, and good God, the Ghostbuster maze is amazing. It was fantastic. It was awesome. I went through it twice, and yeah, that maze is worth the admission alone just for that.
Did you go through it twice, or did you just get really hard lost the first time?
No, I went through it, and then we stood in line for 3 hours because it was supposed to be an hour and a half, but for 3 hours for the Stranger Things maze. Because I swear to God, the actors took a break because it just stopped moving for 30 minutes.
Was the whole thing upside down, or?
I don't know. Not inside. It was actually a decent maze, but 3 hours was way too long. It took up most of our night, to which my wife and my mother-in-law had to head out, and so I took that opportunity as it's time for me to get a fast pass, and that's why I went back to Ghostbusters, because I was like, well, I get a free walkthrough with the fast pass. So, Ghostbusters, number 1, best maze that was there. One of the best mazes I've gone through. Number 2, best maze at Halloween Horror Nights this year. Killer Clowns. By far. Fantastic. It was great. Yes.
Nice.
The old B movie.
Killer Clown.
Yeah. Fantastic. Absolutely great. So
I was just listening to the Me, You, and Masonic podcast where we were talking about Nick Cage and then all the stuff that got cut from Fox and whatnot. Mm-hmm. So the fact that our producer Jack Malice loves Killer Clowns from Outer Space is fresh at the top of my mind.
And that was on Beta, right? Betamax, 8-track.
And then the other thing, it kind of, I would have gotten even more into the maze, but they did a House of a Thousand Corpses maze, but it wasn't actually like really following the movie because it was a lot of Captain Spaulding showing up throughout the maze, which he was only really there at the beginning of the movie, and then, but Sid Halig, I think, is the actor that played him. He just passed away literally right after, so it was like
Sid Haig, yeah,
and I was like, well, I mean, kind of sucked, but it was still a good maze. And didn't
the third movie in that series just come out? Did they integrate that at all?
I don't think they actually got the third movie done. They were talking about it.
They did.
It just got released. Oh, it just premiered.
They talked about him during the rap parties and everything like that. After he died, they reminisced about what happened after they finished filming that movie. So yeah, they're done with it. It's just kind of bittersweet now.
Yeah, because I don't think it came out yet. Because
it hasn't released yet.
No, yeah, because they just announced.
It had its red carpet premiere, but it hasn't gone.
Oh, okay.
There we go.
Yeah. Which I'm interested because House of a Thousand Corpses and Devil Rejects are two completely different films. I like Devil's Rejects a lot. I really.
Yeah, I'm really on the fence about this one because I thought they were decent movies, but the way that they closed out the Devil's Rejects with that whole scene of them driving down the freeway to Freebird, I thought it was the perfect ending for them.
Mm-hmm.
And to have them resurrect the 3 characters again kind of feels like it's cheapening that ending, but I'm going to go see it. And hopefully it's as good as hopefully they come up with as good a send-off as that was.
Yeah, no, I get that. Masonic, what have you been geeking out on?
You know what? It has been kind of a slow geek week for me with getting back into my old profession and everything. However, that was saved today by something I posted in the other chat room. One of my favorite characters out of the entire Star Wars universe is Ewan McGregor's Obi-Wan Kenobi. I think I love watching the prequels, and just for that character alone. And we already know that they were going to be doing a show for that, and they've got the director for it today. And I'm excited to see what they're going to be able to do with that series, because I really do think if they would have made any standalone movie, his should have been made over Solo's or anybody else they were thinking about, because there's so much they could tell with that character. So that is my geek for the week.
Nice. What about you, Fortnite?
It's actually been two things. Still Borderlands 3. If you guys have not picked it up yet, I highly recommend it. The pop culture references, the playability of the game, it is fantastic. I'm just flat out enjoying everything. I'm going back in through True Vault Hunter mode, which is actually the harder difficulty, and they have more missions and stuff like that I didn't see the first time around. A lot of pop culture references and stuff like that, and stuff that I didn't catch it the first time, like, oh, hey, that's where that's from, kind of thing. The second, decided to watch through a show I haven't watched in a while, and that's Seven Deadly Sins. So if you guys are anime fans and have Netflix, I highly recommend the Seven Deadly Sins. It is a very, very well done show.
It is. Yeah, I love it.
Oh yeah, I can't wait for season 4. It's supposedly, the rumor is it's supposed to be coming out either by the end of next year or spring of next year.
Yeah, that's what I heard. Spring.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't know. What are you geeking out?
I haven't been geeking out on a lot, actually. It's been a hell of a week because I'm actually going back to school.
Nice.
So that's been my geeking.
That's getting geeky.
Geeking out on learning. That's good.
Yeah. So graduate school requires a lot
If anybody
more.
wants me to learn anything, I'm all in.
Graduate school requires a lot more in the application process than undergrad does.
Yeah. And lastly, Pickle, what you been geeking out on?
Ugh. Don't call me that.
You made the name.
I know.
Now
I
you
did.
stick to
I did.
it.
That's my own bad. Let's see here. Watching. I have been catching up on just some random stuff that I had saved up for a long time. We watched a little bit of Outlander. It's basically porn. It's
Yeah.
weird.
Start.
You're not wrong.
It's a very strange show. I didn't know. I remember hearing about that show in Orange is the New Black and thinking that the crazy character Suzanne was making the whole thing up. No, that's a real show.
No, it is. Yeah.
Let's see here. I have been reading. I'm slogging my way through book 10 of Wheel of Time, Crossroads of Twilight. It's so slow.
Yeah, the first week you started, like you were moving through those books.
I read
4
like
weeks.
4 of them in the first week, and now I've been stuck on book 10 for like the last week and a half. But I've been livening it up. I working my way through The Boys comics. I'm about halfway through that run, and that is a fantastic comic.
It really is.
Yeah, after having watched the show doesn't. It does a good job, but not quite justice to the comics.
Yeah.
Well, there's a lot of things that they do in those comics that they could not show on TV ever.
I mean,
anywhere.
it's Amazon Prime, so you got to think of it like a premium cable channel. They can do it how they want, but yeah, there's.
They could. That doesn't necessarily mean it's a good idea.
Yeah, no, it's probably not. That's such a good comic run.
And speaking of not good ideas, I don't have anything to stay away from, but Red Meatpot in our chat room says Van Helsing is out. It's an ugly show. It's very bad, manipulative, terrible writing, bad plotting, sucky acting, and cruel.
I'm sold as being out now.
Huh?
I said I'm sold as being out on that show now, and I haven't even seen it.
Yeah, so do you guys have anything else that people should stay far away from so they don't waste their time?
No, not something that people should stay
Star
away
Wars
from.
Christmas special.
Something that I have been geeking out on that I really didn't, because I've been geeking out on it for so long, it didn't transfer over to this week. Peaky Blinders. You guys have not watched that. If you guys have not watched that Netflix show,
It's amazing.
I've heard really good things. I just haven't watched it yet.
I had no idea how good it was going to be. I've heard good things about it too, but let me tell you, Cillian Murphy, that guy is a maniac. He is a maniac.
That's the guy that played the Scarecrow.
Yes.
Scarecrow, yeah. So he does a brilliant job, anchors that entire thing. Make it to season 4 at least. I don't care if you guys watch past season 5, but the last.
How many episodes per series?
10, I believe. 10 or 11.
That's not bad.
It's not bad. So
and it was quite a bit long break between.
Yes,
two seasons,
and all 4 seasons are on there now. The reason I say to make it to season 4 is because Adrian Brody does a guest stint on there as an Italian mafioso, and he is just amazing in that role. I mean, I did not see that coming because I saw him try to play a hard ass in Predators and couldn't really buy into it. But Jesus, he's deadly, man. It's one of the best performances I've seen in the past year.
I've always loved that dude as an actor, but if you're telling me he can do a serious, scary, dramatic turn,
he's terrifying. He really is. From the time he gets off the freaking train to come in and do his thing, oh man, it was a wild ride.
I might use this as our first on-air review for the show, even though it's not for our show, but I just love it. So, Ren Meepaw says, I hate the show so much it should be burnt. The ashes mixed with hot sauce and sewage, buried with Justin Bieber, a copy of World Police, and the remnants of 1,000 moldy and decaying man parts. I think that should be the description for our show.
and then it should be dug up and sent into the sun. Yeah.
That should be. We need to put that in really, really fine print on the bottom of every show.
Can I just get that? Can I just get that as my epitaph?
Yeah, no kidding.
Can you put it available to rent at Blockbuster Video?
And Ruru2 joins us in the chat. Ruru2 joins us just as it's time for the big portion of the show, and that's the Nerd News! First and foremost, the biggest one that hit today, because it wasn't even planned to be on today's show, but then it just
Spider-Man?
smacked us in the face. Yeah. It was Welcome Back Spidey.
Yes.
You came back to the MCU. Welcome back.
Really?
Oh no.
We did it, Mr. Stark. We did it. We won.
Can I go ahead and call was it Vinny Barbarino? Hey, Mr. Carter, Mr. Spike, Mr. Parker.
Yeah, you're Travolta. Rude2 says go home, Parker. They came to a deal, Sony and Disney, and they simultaneously released the news that
they had simultaneous release.
They were holding hands. Look at that. See? Everything's right with the world again.
Well, I love that it came literally a week after Sony saying there is no way in hell that Spider-Man's going to end up back on the MCU.
Well, I think it was twofold. They said that, and then probably not even maybe a couple hours, maybe a day later, there was things coming out about the whole Apple part of it and everything. And I think Sony saw the writing on the wall and realized maybe we should come out with something before we just totally lose everything.
Mm-hmm.
Well, what it looks like from the deal that they came up with, which is what Marvel/Disney is going to take 25% of the overall gross and still keep all the merchandising rights
while funding a quarter of it, so 25.
While funding a quarter, so they're putting more money in, and Feige is going to be the main producer, as he should be because this is MCU stuff. Apparently, Sony was like, "We don't want any of your Marvel money." Oh wait, no, we want a lot of your Marvel money.
Yeah.
Yeah. 5% was pretty good for you guys. 95% was good. But if it's 75% versus nothing, we're going to take 75%. That's fine.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I'm mostly just happy for Tom Holland.
Yeah.
That was the big one. Yeah. Tom Holland seemed so excited about it. And then the other thing with it is that we talked about it last week a little bit. It just popped up. It wasn't part of the actual show. But if Sony got bought, Disney gets Spider-Man back for free. They don't have to pay anything. So Sony basically had to do a deal if they didn't want to end up, because they've got suitors. They got people trying to buy them right now. And
as it turns out, when you have all the money in the world, you got a lot of leverage in negotiations.
Yep.
I mean, and the good thing about this is when you kind of break it all down, I know Sony didn't do this for anything but the money. But there's so many different applications you could go with this now. They've already mentioned the fact that he's able to, we were talking about this before the show, that now he has the ability of being in Venom 2, that now he's going to be in another Avengers movie. His next standalone is going to be by himself. There's so many bonuses that come with this on top of the fact that Tom Holland gets to keep a character that it sounds like to me he would play until the day he died. And that's something in Hollywood I think is rare. You don't find people that are willing to play characters. We talked about this about 4 or 5 shows ago, that are willing to play characters up to a certain point because they want to feel like they don't want to be typecasted for that. But as this goes on, you're starting to see like Chris Hemsworth is saying, hey, I want to be Thor however you want me to. It's really cool.
As long as the writing is good.
Yeah, it's really cool how they're keeping these Marvel characters in check and it's not ruining it. That's what ruined DC movies.
Amen.
Yeah, Ruru2 says Apple wants to buy Sony. For what reason? Who knows? We once again explained last week. Apple wants them because they don't have a movie studio like they need to actually get their streaming. They're starting a streaming service. They need that proper movie studio. That's why they want Sony.
They need the intellectual property. They need the rights to certain properties in order to make that financially feasible. Yeah.
Yeah. So, piggybacking on this, because Kevin Feige was announced as the producer for the Spider-Man films that Sony will be making, as well as Spider-Man will be getting one more movie in the MCU for right now until they renegotiate again. But to piggyback on it, another thing that came, Disney made 2 fan dreams happen with Feige attached this week. First was that Spider-Man was coming back to MCU. Second was Feige's working on a Star Wars film. He's going to take the reins of a film. And that is something we asked for, 6 months ago when there was the rumors that Kathleen Kennedy might be getting let go, was let Feige do it. And lo and behold, they're working together, Kathleen Kennedy and Kevin Feige, but Feige is going to take the reins on producing and creating the next Star Wars project that comes after Rise of Skywalker. Whether it's a prequel or whatever, we don't know. But
please be the Old Republic Bane saga with the Game of Thrones showrunners. That's all I'm gonna say.
Yeah, because
I don't think it's attached to the Game of Thrones one at all. This is completely separate.
One, that's what I needed clarification on, because Feige's going to be doing a project, but the next one that's coming out is being done by the Game of Thrones showrunners.
Yes, they are working on a trilogy themselves. Yes,
that's the next milestone after Rise of Skywalker. Is that in 2021, I believe, right?
Mm-hmm.
2022. Yeah.
So you've got 2 good things. You've got that milestone with the Game of Thrones showrunners, and you've got Feige starting something up too. I'm crossing my fingers that they're actually going to take it seriously, because the only thing that the extended universe actually carried over was probably the best part of it, and that's Thrawn.
Mm-hmm.
I need
our main producer would agree with you hardcore, Jeff.
I know.
Oh yeah.
Trust me, him and I have been like this on the whole Thrawn thing since those books first came out. So yeah, anything by Timothy Zahn that Feige would take control of.
Oh God, it would be amazing.
That would be, considering how much the fandom has split since The Last Jedi, that would reinvigorate it a lot, I have a feeling, because like I said, it's the only thing from that's bridged the gap since Disney took over from the old extended universe, which is now the Legends, I guess.
Mm-hmm. To
modern canon.
Look at it this way: the 3 best franchise runner in the film industry right now are Kevin Feige, J.J. Abrams, and Kathleen Kennedy. Mm-hmm. And this is a chance for all 3 of those to cross over.
I know.
So if we don't get amazing product out of this,
you're getting 2. JJ said, "See you later." Warner Brothers paid me a ton of money.
That's fair.
So,
now I'm hoping there's at least a little cross pollination in there. That's all.
Now, can we see Disney? To me, when I'm seeing all this stuff, I'm seeing Disney has finally, I think, recovered from the buckle.
Oh, big time.
Because outside of this, there was also the news, not to go totally off subject, but there's a news that the manager or whoever runs Disneyland got pushed out because of the fact that they could not handle or the expectations of Galaxy Edge and stuff.
Oh yeah,
She stepped down because it didn't do business the way that they expected it to do, and that's part of false promises on what to expect it to be, and then what it didn't end up being. So that has nothing to do with the films, though.
I don't know. I think this all kind of ties in a way, though, because if you look at it, since Disney's taken over Star Wars, it hasn't been like what everyone's cup of tea is. They've been nervous about Marvel. The whole Sony issue and Spider-Man almost threw things apart. It looks like they're starting to get everything back in alignment, and it makes sense because they're taking on so much stuff at one time, which is, it's amazing what they're trying to do.
Yeah, this isn't even touching the Fox stuff yet either.
So, yeah, exactly.
Now, my question to you guys is with the Feige Star Wars movie that is doing. What if it is the Mary Jane movie that there's rumored to be coming around?
I'd be happy with that too, because Mara Jade came out of the same place that Thrawn did.
Yeah,
all from the mind of Timothy Zahn.
Exactly, and that's what I was trying to piggyback off of you.
Yeah,
with that.
That's an amazing place to draw inspiration for future.
But my question was, I mean, they've already introduced Thrawn, and he is canon inside the whole Disneyverse thing because of Rebels and stuff like that. So do you think they would do just a movie just based on Thrawn? Do you think they could go that route, or do you think it could be a Mary Jane movie?
I think that I hope.
I think sky's the limit at this point. They don't care.
I think that of all the routes that I think they could take, that would be one of the ones that I would want the most, because it's already something that has been established, like you said, through Rebels and through the books and through the ties to the old EU. So it would be a good way for them to draw and unify the fan base. That being said, having Mara Jade, I mean, even as a cameo or a secondary character, supporting character, I would love that too, because
I just feel that they've shot the pooch with Mara Jade because she was supposed to be interconnected romantically with Luke, and that's kind of gone.
Yeah.
So
I was about to say that's your one hiccup in your what you want, because Mara Jade and Luke are supposed to be together. They're actually supposed to have a kid, if I'm not mistaken. And they've already said that everything they do going from this point forward is going to be totally neglect of Skywalker.
Yeah.
There's going to be nothing of Skywalker. So it'd be very difficult to pull a Mara Jade without having Skywalker. And I wouldn't want to see Skywalker into it, because that means a new character for Luke, which means I don't want to see anyone but Mark Hamill done in Luke Skywalker.
Hold on, Fortnite is twitching. I got to see what he has to say. I haven't seen him move this much.
And then the second thing, you're right about the kid, and their kid that they have. In fact, in the books and all that stuff, their son's name is Ben Skywalker, and they took the name Ben and gave it to Kylo in the new movies.
Yeah.
So wait, you're saying that Kylo's real mother is Mara Jade?
And real father is Luke Skywalker.
I'm going to tell you right now, if you want to edit something, that would be that crazy looking squirrel that does a...
A couple comments from Ruru 2.
You mean dramatic groundhog?
Couple comments from Ruru 2 in the chat room. Doctor Strange Multiverse of Madness is a Star Wars cameo. Disney saved Star Wars from Lucas's microverse, and they don't want any more Star Wars with this timeline. Give them the first founding of Jedi or Old Republic. I think we're going to get that. I think it's going to be an expansion of different stuff, but they're not going to focus on the Skywalker stuff anymore. It's going to be still going further in the timeline. It's going to be going farther back in the timeline. It's going to be exploring other galaxies in the universe.
Episode 9 is literally called The Last Skywalker. So yeah,
that's what I mean. Yeah,
please give
Rise
us either
Skywalker,
Revan,
not The Last Skywalker, Rise of Skywalker.
Yeah, please give me either Darth Bane or a Revan series. Thank you.
Dave Bautista is Darth Bane. Moving on.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes.
Okay.
I agree.
Moving on to our next big story to talk about. So excited because PlayStation wasn't at E3. They brought State of Play, and man, I am so glad to see this. I'm so happy. February 21st, 2021, we get the official release of Last of Us 2. We have an actual date.
I'm calling it now, Game of the Year.
Oh, God, it looks... Okay, so we got a new trailer for it as well. And what would you guys... okay, I'll describe the trailer really quick. You see the Ellie.
Well, we don't have Super on the cast, so
I know, so I'm going to describe it really quick. We see Ellie has made a new relationship with another girl, and they're lovey-dovey, and they go out searching for stuff, and something happens, and the other girl gets killed, it looks like, and
kidnapped, I thought.
Kidnapped and killed. There's a gunshot, and then she says she has to finish it, so I'm pretty sure she got killed.
Okay.
So she goes out. The brother of, good lord, I can't remember the other main character's name from Last of Us.
There was Joel and Travis?
Joel's brother is who she's talking to.
Yeah.
It's like, you can't go do this. You don't know how big the group is.
But I'm not sure.
Yeah, you don't know how big the group is or anything. She goes out on her own. You see her go crazy, insane, killing bad guys to one of, like, looks awesome. And then at the very end, she gets covered with her mouth. She turns around. What do you want? And there's Joel. We finally see Joel outside of just the first trailer where he was just watching her play a guitar. We see Joel like, I'm not going to let you do this alone. But we still haven't seen any gameplay with Joel, so I'm still worried. I'm really worried.
The cutscenes look amazing.
It looks amazing. It looks like there's not enough of this game. I will finish this game way too fast. But
I'm hoping it's like a 40-50 hour game, which still would not be enough for me.
Yeah. Rurutu says, Joel, come with me if you want to live. Is basically how I showed up. But what do you guys think? What do you guys think of the trailer and what we've gotten so far? I mean, I think that they've left a lot open, and we've still been shown a lot over these last 2 years as they've been developing this.
So
I'm going to let you guys run with it. I got thoughts.
Yeah, I got a lot of thoughts too, because I see a lot of the influence that's come out since they released that game, influences from their other big titles. The one that I saw the most was Horizon Zero Dawn with the bow, number one, and number two, the cover system that they have and the concealment system that they have now with that tall grass and the prone movement. I like the dynamic that has and that adds to it. Being able to fire the bow from the prone, for example, being able to hide in the tall grass, the introduction of the dogs, which I think is a huge freaking thing that's going to add a whole new speed bump in your road to getting where you need to go. I love what they've added to on top of the original and the original gameplay was fantastic. The story was amazing, and I think that they built on top of a very, very strong foundation, and I really love the direction that they're going with it. I like being able to take control of Ellie. That was the big thing that I didn't like.
Yeah.
I felt like The Last of Us, the first game, didn't give me enough Ellie time.
Yeah.
And I really like that they're making her the main protagonist, but I loved, I thought it was excellent seeing Joel come back up again. Dude got old.
Well, come on, he was already old.
It's what, 6 years?
Yeah, but it's
showing
now because he looked like in the first game he looked like he could either be a really, really old looking 28-year-old or a really, really young 25-year-old.
He was clearly like 42.
I know, but just the way he looked. Now it's really showing through. He's got that gray hair. He's got that.
Now he's 65.
He
aged way more than Ellie did.
Hold on, wait 1 second. Now you give Joel a Dos Equis, and he is the most interesting man in the
world. No, I'm sorry. I have to stop that. I am trying to claim that title for myself. I've got a lot of background that will lead up to that. That's a different argument.
Yeah,
Rurutu has the reasoning for it. He says stress will age you a lot in a post-apocalyptic world.
Exactly. He looks like he's been president for the past 8 years.
That's what I was going to say. Good call. No, I mean, look, above everything else, Naughty Dog is maybe the best production studio out there for storytelling.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Or none.
Yeah, I can agree with that.
And I am so excited that not only does that trailer look like it has an amazing story, it looks like the gameplay is going to be an even better amped up version of what was already nearly perfect gameplay in the first game. It was, it's Assassin's Creed crossed with Fallout 4, but without too much crap to carry around. It was just beautiful, expansive storytelling, really fun gameplay. And if they come even close to what they did with that first one, it's automatic Game of the Year again.
No, yeah, for sure. I mean, even with all the big titles that are coming out next year, I mean, it's gonna take them all down.
Naughty Dog is the studio to beat when it comes to storytelling, in my opinion.
That is true. It's the new BioWare, basically.
It is. It really is. Because like when you look at some of like the older BioWare games that they've had, and like one of the most well-known ones, I mean, for us Star Wars fans, is Knights of the Old Republic 1 and 2.
Yep.
Look how in-depth those storytellings were. Now, I will admit, I was one of the guys that played Last of Us a little late because, as you guys know, I'm more so an Xbox guy. But one of the things that I liked about Last of Us is the fact, Zoro's point, is the storytelling. Not only that, just the way that the first Last of Us was. That game just looked beautiful, just everything with the design of everything and all that stuff.
The environment was incredible.
It was, and then just seeing these different seasons stuff like that from this new game, it looks even better. But which begs to differ, how much better is that game going to look on the PS5 or like PS5 next gen consoles?
Oh, I can't even picture how pretty that's going to be.
Think about the next gen lighting that we've been shown so far, because that's the only thing we've been shown. For next gen graphics is the lighting.
Well, and I got it. I understand that trailer is probably mostly cutscene stuff, but that was
there was definitely some gameplay. I mean, the fighting,
there was a little
when she's going nuts on that's gameplay when she's walking through the.
And for like a decade, we've been promised that the gameplay is going to be as pretty as cutscenes, and this looks like it might be getting into that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, I can't wait. I'm so excited. February can't come quick enough.
So that's Troy Baker, Nolan North, and what's her name?
Nolan didn't do a voice in this, but it's Troy Baker.
He didn't?
No, it's Troy Baker, his Joel, and the girl.
I thought Nolan North was the brother.
No, that was Uncharted 5. He's
Troy
was the brother in Uncharted 5, and that was the first time they got to work together.
Well, let's see. We've got Ashley Johnson as Ellie.
Ashley Johnson, the girl from Growing Pains, yeah. So.
Troy Baker's Joel, Emily Swallow as Emily.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if you guys know who she is. She played the
amazing.
Darkness in Supernatural. Shannon Woodward as Dina, and uncredited. Is Krisia Bajos.
Here's the thing: is we have a lot of.
I want you to text that name to Mest, and then I want him to read it.
No. We have a lot of first-time voice actors as well for this because you got to remember the second trailer that came out for this a year ago showed completely new characters that we've never seen before that are look like they were part of a cult or something like that. Like we don't even know what that aspect has to do with the storyline. So there is a lot that's not being shown to us. So
the one that I was going to say was the girl who played Kate Diaz in Gears 5 and Mary Jane Watson in the Marvel Spider-Man on PlayStation. Laura Bailey, she's actually she's in the cast too. So got a lot of talent. A lot of talent.
So moving on to a science story, because we've talked our geeky stuff.
Yeah, and interstellar objects. Not all that geeky.
Yeah, I mean, the factor of how many that have been. This is they just got visual of the only second interstellar object. So coming from another galaxy into our galaxy, only twice has there been a sighting of it, and this time
it galaxy or solar system?
Solar system, maybe. Yeah, solar system.
Yeah, it's extra solar. So yeah, it's
So coming into our solar system from another solar system, they're assuming it's a comet. It is tagline as the 21-Borisov because Borisov is who discovered it.
I double checked. It's 2I, not 21.
Oh, it's 2I. Okay, so 2I / Borisov. The first one was Uma Wana Wanawiwi, whatever.
Oh man, now I gotta bring this back up so I can pronounce it correctly. Wait, hold on.
Yeah, apparently,
Keep talking.
From what I read, the Borisov cat that caught this actually built his own telescope. He's not he doesn't sound like he's a professional, which is cool because that's one of my favorite things is seeing amateurs.
Oh yeah.
Amateurs showing up to professionals. I love it.
He sounds like he's I can't remember what movie it was, but there was like the old man that was always trying to find a satellite himself so he could get something named after him. looking for the comet himself, and he finally saw one.
That was Armageddon, wasn't it?
Was it Armageddon? Yes,
Yeah,
yes,
'cause
it
he
was. He's
named
like,
after-
finally, yes. Named
Yeah.
after. So,
Because she's the life-sucking, and
The random guy looking for an object in space that gets named after a comet that's gonna destroy Earth,
Yeah, kill everyone.
because that's one of the first things that went through my mind. They were about how
Just
fast
to
it was
have-
moving. I was like,
Yeah. The end of the
oh
world,
man,
just have Ben Affleck save it.
I
So-
know how to make alcohol. Everybody should want me in their camp.
So the coolest thing about this one, they said it will actually be at some point visual for others to see.
It's supposed to be visual for a good long time, for a couple
Yes.
months.
Hey, you know what? I don't want to see it visual for a long period of time because visual means it's close enough to see. How about we just let that thing
What
keep
if-
going
what if-
wherever?
I'm
Okay,
just
so
going to
the-
go out on a limb here. What if it's an Imperial Star Destroyer?
It's slowing
Okay.
down, sir.
Okay, so this is an old school reference. This is something that almost no one's going to get, but I actually, this reminds me of one of my favorite books of all time called Lucifer's Hammer, wherein a little known like hobby astronomist discovers a comet coming towards Earth, and his last name is Hammer, and so it becomes named as the Hammer, and of course it hits the Earth and causes the apocalypse. The name that you were trying to say earlier, Captain Hammer, is
Aha, yeah, it's not as easy as you think.
wait, it's Aumuamua. Aumuamua.
Alamu. Okay.
Moo. Moo.
No.
So that was a lot of build up for me screwing up the name.
Yep, there you
Yeah,
go.
thank you,
Exactly.
sir. Thank you
Exactly.
much,
You were like,
appreciate it.
you were gonna make this roll off the tongue. It was gonna be so easy. It's just
Oh yeah, well, one of my
it's
old
quiche.
who was
Quiche doesn't know
originally
how to
from-
say anything right, but Mest can say umu.
Hey, can you get your cliff notes out for that one and try it again, please?
I've got a buddy that's originally from Hawaii. His last name is Ka'aliki Nohumohu. So I can say that one with no problems. This one took me.
Yeah.
Congratulations, sir.
I go with someone their name is because the cat named him.
Oh, hairballs.
Okay, so the big thing that in the article that we were looking at, I can't remember where it came from, but they said that they have actual ability potentially to retrieve the object or get close to the object or get stuff
Would
from
they
it.
say
so
they could get? I thought they were saying like samples.
They could get sample, yeah, and see what other stuff has collected as it was going through the different solar systems, which
Would be an amazing scientific discovery.
Yes.
Okay, so let's chat about this for a second. How many times have you seen a movie where they go to collect something, next thing you know, aliens are popping out of your chest?
Oh
and
yeah,
the
no,
world's done.
xenomorphs are going to be everywhere.
But it
No,
could
no,
be
no, no, no.
it could be a Venom suit for all we know, man. We could start having.
I
You're-
want a Venom
I-
suit.
I-
I'm sorry to tell you, Wes, you're going to be one of the guys that get eaten. Sorry, buddy.
There is one TV show where they do it successfully and never had any issues because of the fact there was already aliens on Earth, and that was in Futurama. Yes, they went. They get a giant thing, and they get a giant block of ice to drop it up north in the polar ice caps to make sure the Earth doesn't overheat. It was an episode of Futurama.
Well, then let's hope for a future. I never thought I'd be saying this. Let's hope for a Futurama
Well,
scenario.
I mean,
Let us go for a Futurama
if
future.
they come across stuff, then would they make like a new elemental table? Because wouldn't it be the same elements as what we have on Earth? So then you'd have like a whole new. It couldn't be the interstellar element.
Well, if you're hoping for new elements, why not Freiburg?
These new
I don't know.
Arrowverse.
I'm sorry, that was a terrible
Zoidberg.
Zoidberg.
That was a
impersonation.
terrible Zoidberg. Just like
Yeah,
when
it was
I
real bad.
re-listening through Cass and I heard your Ray Romano and you were talking Irishman, and I'm like, oh, the fact that we did not beat you because I thought you were doing Bobcat Goldthwait. That's why we didn't. I was like, what is he doing?
You Bobcat a little bit.
The only one I wish it would be is if someone could go up to space right now, go hyperspace, so the Vulcans could see what's going on, and we're good to go. All right, I'd like to have that.
If we're
utopia
starting-
later on.
If we're starting to get intergalactic or interstellar asteroids, can we please hope that a warp drive is in the near future?
They
Yeah.
said that it's feasible now, but just
All we have to do is bend time and space. It can't be that hard, right?
There we go. Yeah,
they
exactly.
did it in Event Horizon.
My eyes.
I mean, I
Everything
really
in the
need
movie
to
is
start
true.
matter drive, and we'll be okay.
Oh, Okay.
Hey, that's a good segue to the Jurassic Park games.
Exactly. That's the segue to.
Look at you bringing it back.
Yes, exactly. The segue to, like we said, so much stuff to talk about. So much stuff that it is time for the rapid fire news. All right. So Jurassic Park, creator of Jurassic World 3, Trevorrow, the director,
Colin Trevorrow, yes.
Yes, has confirmed that the original Big Three of Jurassic Park will be returning in a larger portion for Jurassic World 3. That would be Sam Neill, Laura Dern, speaking of Pew Pew, and...
the big one, Ian Malcolm, Jeff Goldblum. Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
Thoughts. Yeah, first off, thoughts. Twilight.
Oh, that would be me. I'm actually excited. Really excited for it. And the reason why is because this is not a franchise that's trying to throw it in there to kind of save it. The last two movies have been very good. They've been very successful. And the best part about the last two movies is that they haven't I
don't know about very good, but very commercial.
Shut your mouth,
Sorry.
I'm speaking. They never took their eyes off from the original movies, which I found, which was really awesome about them. They always referenced the original. They brought back characters from the original, and to maybe be the third and last one of this second series and bring everyone back for the or at least for this one, I think that's phenomenal. I'm going to be excited to see it, and I'm waiting forward to it.
Okay, Pickle.
I have also heard that the child actors from the original movie are seriously considering reprising their roles.
They're interested, but they were not announced to be part of it.
Not announced, but interested, and I'm good with that.
Of course they are. They haven't had any acting jobs forever.
Neither one of them has acted their way out of a wet paper bag.
Yes, exactly.
So,
outside of reprising roles in Jurassic Park 2 or 3, or I can't remember which
no, those didn't
showed
count.
up for a second.
No, I don't think
Fortnite, thoughts?
It's going to be fantastic. It's epic. The fact that, in a way, they're kind of tying in the movies back to the originals. So in the sense, it's like it's all coming full circle in a way. It's like they said. It's they didn't necessarily need to like reboot it. They kind of like did their own thing with like a newer story. But the fact that they can reintroduce the characters to make it come full circle, and I know it's very similar to what one of the other two guys said, but that's my thoughts.
Cool. What about you? I don't know.
I don't know, whiskey.
There's booze in it, really?
I'm so stoked. Jurassic Park, the original movie in '93 when it came out, was the first movie that I ever remember getting
scared.
No, not scared. Freaking, I was the most excited I have ever been for a movie to come out, because I read that book when I was like 8, I think, and it blew my mind. Michael Crichton was my favorite author for decades after that. And to see all of them coming back, that's what I feel was missing from this this new trilogy. I love Chris Pratt. I thought he brought a really decent charm to it, but I missed the ties to the paleontological side and the paleobotany. And the whole idea of chaos theory was one of my favorite things in the original trilogy. So I love that they're
iterations,
because I really want them to put those aspects of it back into it, not necessarily the genetic engineering, because B.D. Wong was already in the first two, and he really brought the scientific side of it on the genetics. But I really want the scientific notions of where they came from, what they eventually turned into, that whole paleontology portion of it. And I can't wait. I'm so excited.
Real quick, and I know these are supposed to be the short takes, I want to see Sam Neill and Laura Dern as those characters trying to interact with Chris Pratt, where they think that velociraptors are giant, deadly chickens and the experiences they've had with them, versus Chris Pratt being essentially a velociraptor trainer. They interact.
I want them to find the Barbasol can.
They're going to find the remains of Nedry.
Yeah.
Okay, from the chat room, Ruatu says dinosaurs are going to build the pyramids to summon Godzilla. Red Meatball says I bit my husband during the raptor kitchen scene. Okay. My quick thoughts on this. One, I'm glad. At first, when I saw that they were showing that all three of them were going to be coming back, I love that they said substantial, because that's what we got with Jurassic World 2. Was we had at the beginning of the movie, Ian was in it. I went to go get popcorn and missed the entire scene because literally he was in it for maybe.
Who
2
doesn't
minutes.
get popcorn before the movie?
Yeah, whose
I had to
dumbass
grab
idea
something for
was
my
that?
wife.
to
I had
leave
to
the
grab it
movie
for my
theater?
wife or something. I care, we
I'm
tried.
judging you.
Yeah.
I'm judging
So in other words, you're on record by blaming it on the wife.
Oh, I blamed her
I'm sure
before.
that's
I
going to
bla-
hit the edit floor,
When
huh?
we talked about this story, I told her I missed the Ian scene because I went and got her something and I can't remember what it was. So
Yeah, that's hitting the
2,
edit floor already.
I think it is fixing this because I hated the second one with a passion. I did not like the film whatsoever. I thought it fell.
Second Jurassic World or second Jurassic
second
Park?
Jurassic World. Because I love the first Jurassic World. The second Jurassic World I thought was terrible, god-awful, terrible writing. I think this is saving the third one because I was at the point where I was going to go to the theater to see the third one, to see Jurassic World 3 because, yeah, so.
I can agree with that, but if these people are in it, I'm going to go see it.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, yeah.
And that's Red Meat Puss says that's why she bit him. No popcorn. So it wasn't me. Okay. Rapid fire story number 2. Alexa is getting its first celebrity voice. So when you say, "Hey Alexa, tell me about," you will get a response from Samuel L. Jackson instead of Alexa. Thoughts?
Mother.
I was just about to ask how much can we edit because I was going to say, you know what?
Yeah,
Go
I'm gonna
to sleep.
I'm gonna have to. Oh, that's exactly what Red Meatpaw said in the chat room as well.
Yeah,
My
phone is dead,
thing is,
so I can't see
my
chat.
thing is like, hey Alexa, what's the daily Bible verse? And
Exactly.
Yes.
A made up one,
17 every damn day.
and that is made up. Yeah.
That's why I can't get an Alexa now because that's literally all I'll be doing.
Yeah,
Alexa,
I just want to ask Alexa if I can get a burger.
That's what I'm gonna say. Alexa, how's this burger taste?
No, actually, the
Alexa.
best. No, the best one, because I have Alexa, is the best one is when you get a package delivered, it turns yellow. Alexa, give me my notification. Your mother package has arrived at the mother front door. Kick your shit up.
So many beeps on this
Oh, I
one.
got so much to edit now.
Oh, I can see Mess face.
I
Yeah.
really wanted to get mad at you. Instead of saying Alexa, say, "Hey, Lawrence Fishburne," and have it be like, "I am not that person."
Hell yeah. Do we all look the same? I remember that. That's so awesome. Yes.
Oh.
I mean,
Once
What
again,
can you-
I don't
what
think
can-
they look alike, but that was a story where somebody did.
that was a legit. Yeah.
Yes.
It was a guy. It was interviewing for Super Bowl weekend, and not Lawrence Fishburne, Samuel L.
Larry.
Jackson did the commercials, and then he asked him. He's like, "No, that ain't me. That's the other guy." Right on camera.
Red
And he says,
Meatball
"We don't all look alike."
Red Meatball says, "Stop! You guys are turning on my Alexa." She said, "I don't know that." Rapid fire story number 3. Batman has more casting. Not only Sparkly Boy Twilight that Twilight loves here,
Boo.
No.
playing Batman, but now
Boo.
Jonah Hill is in talks to play the Riddler and Stephen Wright to play Commissioner Gordon.
Yay.
Thoughts?
No.
Stephen Wright is Commissioner Gordon. Yes. Jonah Hill is Riddler. No, because there's 2 people that
Really?
Yeah. Because of like fan art stuff that I've seen, I can see 2 people playing the Riddler.
I'm a fan.
Fantastic. One of them being Neil Patrick Harris, and 2, David Tennant.
Good choices, solid choices.
Those would be
But-
good choices.
I don't want to see him play the Riddler just because I think he'd be the greatest Penguin ever. I think
if
he
if
is
gained
skinny
weight,
Jonah
he's
Hill right
lost
now.
So much
I know
weight.
he's skinny Jonah Hill, but I think that because they've already proven that a skinny penguin can work.
No, you still need
They
what's his
have.
name from Frozen and Little Monsters to play
Josh Gad?
Yeah,
Gad?
Josh Gad. Yes, Gad would be an
Josh Gad
amazing.
should be Penguin.
He would be good too, but he's not in talks right now. Jonah Hill is, and I want him to
Jonah
play.
Hill's in talks to play the Riddler though.
I know, and I don't want him to. I don't want him
I
to
do.
play the Riddler.
I do, and I'll tell you why. I'll tell you why. Have you seen the show Maniac on Netflix?
I have.
Yes.
Yeah, and I'm not saying he's not going to do a good job.
That guy is an amazing actor.
Oh, he is. I'm not
Maniac.
doubting that.
As
That's
skinny
exactly-
Jonah Hill, he can pull off Riddler incredibly well. I have trust.
I know, and I'm not saying that he's not going to do amazing because I have a feeling that he absolutely.
Yeah.
I think he'll absolutely kill the role. I'm not saying that I want him to play a different role. I envision him as the Penguin, and I imagine him doing just an immaculate job at that particular role. But if he's going to play the Riddler, I
think he's going to kill it.
I think he's going to do a good job. I wish he were doing something else.
Well, you referenced Gotham earlier with the skinny Penguin, and that guy killed it as Penguin.
He
Oh,
did.
yeah.
So it's going to take a lot for me to get over the Riddler from Gotham.
Mm-hmm.
But if anybody can do it, I think Jonah Hill might be the one.
Yeah,
Okay, this entire time, Twilight is shaking his head, so I want to know what his thoughts are.
I'll see that.
His quick thoughts.
This movie is going to be garbage. Okay, I'm sorry.
That's what I thought about
I
Joker.
am sorry. No, I can't. I can't get past. First of all, Robert Pattinson. I can't get past that. I'm sorry.
I can agree with that.
It's a mess. I don't see Jonah Hill playing the Riddler. I don't see it. I don't. I've seen a lot of his films, and I just don't see him portraying that type of character. I agree. Penguin, absolutely, but we're not talking about Penguin. We're talking Riddler. There has to be someone better than that out there. I don't know. I'm getting kind of frustrated with superhero movies right now because of the PC-ness of everything, too. It just seems like everything has to be PC at this point.
Warner Brothers is definitely not trying to go the PC route right now with Joker coming out. So.
Well, no, and I'm not.
Well-
Yeah, you're right on Joker, but I'm just talking about the changing of characters, the changing of who they are and stuff. I don't get it. But going back to it, I don't see Jonah Hill being the right character for the Riddler. They can find someone better than that. If you're going to ask me who, don't ask me right now because
I have an
thought about
idea.
that much.
I have an idea for an alternate. The guy that played Kick-Ass, the Aaron Jones or whatever was that?
Aaron Taylor Johnson.
Yeah.
Taylor Johnson. I think that would be a good alternative. But
He could do well.
yeah,
Absolutely.
I do.
I'm just saying, I think there's better people out there for him, and they need to do something because their first casting was crap. So fix it.
I'll go out and say this, and people may hate me. I still like Jim Carrey's Riddler.
I liked it. It was a good.
No.
It was a good. It was a
No.
good Riddler.
it was an over the top clown Riddler.
It's exact. That's exactly.
It was
what,
it was
But that's
Riddler. It was
but that's-
Riddler as the Joker.
No,
But
that was the.
movie. It was good.
Wait. You're looking at the wrong context. That movie, all those movies were based off of the '60s and everything campy stuff. That was an
That's what
awesome
Schumacher
Riddler.
wanted
That's
to do,
exactly
yeah.
what they wanted. Okay, they got it.
So Rurutu says he's gonna have a mask on. He'll be fine. The thing about these comic book movies, at the end of the day, they'll still need to sell toys, so they have to be PC to get the moms to let their kids watch them. So, truth in marketing and advertising. So
Depends on the moms.
yeah, exactly. Okay, rapid fire story number 4. Arrowverse has a spin-off coming because Arrow's ending, so they're doing a Black Canaries, all the different Canaries together in a series. Thoughts?
It's gonna last a season. For that.
Wow, you gave it past the pilot? Really? All right.
Well, the pilot's not even a pilot, it's a back-end pilot that's going to show up this
Oh,
season.
then never mind. No, it's not. Yeah, you're right. I forgot. It's a back end pilot. It's gonna
It's
go.
going to be one episode that shows
Not
up
gonna
this
go.
season.
And they already tried to do this with Wayward Sisters from Supernatural, and it's just it doesn't. I love all those characters. I love all those actresses, but no, I don't want to.
Anybody
would it
else
be-
have thoughts?
I want it to work. I want it to. I really do.
Oh, if it worked, I'd be super happy.
Yeah, I don't think that it's going to make it past its infancy, though. Unfortunately, I think the actresses that they've got on slate, I think they can do a great job together. They have great chemistry, but I don't think people are going to pick up on it. Not right now.
Katie Cassidy can maybe lead a series on her own. The other two girls that have played Black Canary, I don't think they can.
Well, I picture it kind of being like the way that Supernatural is working. They have the two brothers and they have Castiel, and the synergy between the three of them has held that show together.
Spend the magic.
Way past what it should be. So
now, if it's just me or whatever, but it seems like to me DC has started, I don't know, not listening to people, listening to fans. I think they're starting to force produce stuff that they want. And we haven't seen it yet.
Isn't that what they've always done?
No, I don't think they have. I think with the Arrowverse and all the television shows, they have done a phenomenal job of listening to the fans and creating stuff that the fans they like. Until they introduced the new Batwoman, okay, and where
Ruby Rose.
Yeah, they've had backlash on that, and now they're producing a series.
They're
going to produce this series with the Canaries, which I don't think is going to happen. I don't think they're listening to their fan base right now. They're in a plex right now because they're about to lose their number one show in Arrow, and they don't know what to do with it. Huh?
Number 2, Flash is number 1.
Yeah, well, I mean,
Flash is technically the most watched.
Okay. Let me
started the
rephrase
whole
that.
thing. So.
They're losing their anchor show.
Yes.
How about that?
Yes.
They're losing their anchor show, and I think they're doing a great idea with Infinity Crisis and bringing all these past characters. Like I saw the picture of Brandon Roth as Superman today, and I got excited.
Good.
I got excited because once again, I liked Superman Returns and Brandon Roth Superman. I did
too.
So I like what they're doing there, but it seems like they're shooting their wad, they're blowing everything in this one thing. After that, I don't know. I think they're going to have some issues. Flash is going to be your main show, which is still a good show, but they can't. They're having a struggle filling in what Arrow's going to lose.
Aaron or fill in if you feel. I think I'm hoping that the massive crossover, the Infinity War, or not an Infinity War,
Crisis on Infinite.
Crisis on Infinite Earths. I'm hoping that bringing all these various versions of the characters back is going to help restart a love for DC, because you're going to get the best of all those worlds. With the notable exception of Michael Rosenbaum, who told them all to go take a flying whatever, get out of here.
Well, because that was going to be a story in here, but we dropped it. But it's basically because they said, hey, we want you to be in this. There's no script. There's no story. We're not going to pay you really anything. Just come do it.
And he was like, we don't know when it's going to happen.
Yeah, and he was like, no.
Michael Rosenbaum. I
don't blame him at all.
his podcast is one of the podcasts that I listen to on the regular basis, and he talked about it a little bit. He was like, if you're going to tell me I'm going to show up with no story and no money and you can't tell me when, no good.
I don't blame him at all.
Even a little bit. But, and this is going to be maybe a little controversial, he is my favorite Lex Luthor.
He's not bad.
Look at my Fortnite's hands went into his face. His face went into his hands.
Fight me on it. I don't know if we're doing nerd fights anymore, but I will fight you.
No, I know you would.
Moving on. Rapid fire story number 5. There are 3 black holes, and they are converging on each other. And
that's just in my bedroom.
And it is giving them a lot of research to figure out how conversion of black holes colliding, supermassive black holes. It's the first time that they've seen 3 next to each other, and this gives them NASA ideas that they'll be able to find more triples in the sky. I read this article.
Supermassive black hole.
Believe me, reading this article, that's all that went through my head the entire time. I was like, you can't have somebody with a gutter mind reading this, because it's. I'll drop a link to the article. I'm
going to go ahead and mute myself for the rest of this portion of the show.
Thoughts on the 3 supermassive black holes converging that are even light years away from each other, but are still being pulled into each other?
NASA scientists are watching the wrong movies.
What's their search algorithm? On a nerd level, I'm so happy to hear that we're seeing this. Like, this all happened billions of years ago. It's already done. We're done. That's so cool that we get to see that. I always love to see 3.
It kind of makes me nervous to think that this happened. Yeah, like you said, this happened so longer. Are we watching the end of our world? Is that what's going on?
We're already dead. The fact that 3 supermassive black holes are coming together, that's just unprecedented. I'm gonna keep using the technical terminology too. Yeah, you heard it.
At the center of them is going to be a planet that shouldn't physically be there, just suspended in gravity.
It's the small white planet that's like, I don't know what's happening right now. I'm sorry.
Protect Pluto! We gotta save Pluto!
It's okay.
I've seen that video.
If the explosion happens,
and that's how baby universes are made.
When the explosion
This
happens,
is how,
we need
this
to
is
get
how
away.
long-running bits start.
Always remember, Naruto run. You'll get away from anything.
Oh.
That kid is a god and a scholar and a national treasure. He needs to be protected.
He needs to be protected because he's going to trip himself and die within the next week.
All right.
How about if we show a video of those colliding and all of a sudden you hear Leroy Jenkins?
God damn it, Leroy!
Not my fault.
It's not my fault.
Okay.
At least I have chicken.
Rapid fire news story number 6. If you've ever thought that MREs just don't last long enough for mac and cheese, they have now made mac and cheese that'll last 3 years
Yes.
as a ready-to-eat package. And it's
As
just as
opposed to
good
20
as
years
the
they've been
old
lasting now.
versions that would last 9 months. Now it'll last 3 years so that they can send people to Mars with mac and cheese. Thoughts?
I'm so going to use my joke from pre-show. They could add 2 more years to it by adding American cheese. Hey, Ron left.
He's going to go get the MRE that he's got.
He went to go get the MRE.
What do you
I'm
think?
absolutely sure he did.
What do
my
you
God.
think, Pickle?
Is it,
There it is.
there it is. Yes. What flavor?
Chicken tetrazzini.
Yes.
The biggest thing about
What's
this,
the candy?
Yeah.
the biggest
No,
thing about this is they said that they wanted to make them as nutritious and good tasting to last the 3 years. So,
Do you remember having bought the whole wheat bottom shelf mac and cheese at the grocery store when your parents were poor?
Oh, wait, stop. Hey, Ron, you need to be talking while you're doing this so we can see the video.
Oh yes,
Go ahead.
do an unboxing, please.
we're doing an MRE unboxing.
All right, this is an older one. So you've got your chocolate dairy shake powder.
This is an older what? An older MRE?
An older MRE. This is about 10 years old.
Guess what? It's still good.
It is good.
Mm-hmm.
Your, let's see, what the hell is this? I don't even know what the hell this is. It's not marked.
Oh, it's going to
Let
be
us
open.
find out.
Oh, we scored. Tootsie Rolls.
Oh, that's the candy. That's what I was asking.
Now, I will tell you this. One of my favorite MREs was the jambalaya one because it actually made it somewhat more tastier because you got the miniature bottle of Tabasco sauce to go with it.
Yeah, a little bit of
Which I
spice
heard
in
you
there.
could put
A little bit of spice
really
in there.
helped.
Notice no Tabasco in here, but you've got your crushed red pepper,
Oh,
Okay. that'll
which
work.
does help.
I see you're a man of culture.
Your strawberry jam.
Oh yes,
What'd you have
packet
there?
of strawberry
What was that
jam.
last one?
Sure,
Yeah.
strawberry jam.
And, oh, wait,
Okay.
not a Pop-Tart, but a toaster pastry.
Of course,
Mm.
got to have a toaster pastry.
Pop-Tarts or ravioli? Fight me.
First of all, Pop-Tarts are trademarked, so you can't use that.
Absolutely. So
Toaster pastries or ravioli? Fight me.
your crackers to go with the jam.
What kind of crackers are these? Saltine type?
They
Down- Ritz?
these
What are
things-
we going?
and papery.
Oh, he's opening them.
Oh.
That looks like a townhouse block to me.
It does.
Take a bite. Take a bite.
Yes,
Take a
please,
bite.
please eat.
So good.
It's gonna be an
Yeah!
show. Nice.
Wow, we went from rapid fire news. We went from rapid fire news to an unboxing of an MRE.
And
Hey,
people
let's get to
come
the
and
main
join.
course. We have to get to the main course.
What do we got for protein?
Chicken tetrazzini.
Oh, the chicken tetrazzini! Yes, I'm sorry.
Are you going to open it?
All the things.
Well, you can't really see anything because it's all.
Yes, he's opening it.
Dude, that was a
It's like
money
Christmas, only
MRE.
different.
Oh yeah, it was.
That was a great MRE.
Yeah. Chefs, you now have 5 minutes left on the clock. 5 minutes.
Fully cooked. Can be eaten cold.
Oh, he's going to go
can
for it.
be, shouldn't be.
Go for it. Go for it. You got nothing to live for tonight. You're good.
What's the worst that could happen? You die.
That was
We're all okay with that.
Uncontrollable
Here he goes.
diarrhea.
Do it on
Here
camera.
he goes.
The
Oh,
funniest
yeah, you gotta
thing-
talk.
The funniest thing is the most viewers that I've seen tonight so far is right now.
Absolutely. Dude, it's an MRE unboxing.
That's it. Every Friday, MRE unboxings.
As long as you get the Tootsie Rolls, you're good.
Oh my god.
Come on, let's do this.
Hey, Ron, keep talking so we can see what's
Yeah.
going on.
I'm getting the spoon.
We'll keep talking while you're getting the spoon so we see it.
Oh, spoon. Let's see. If I die
Is this
tomorrow,
spoon
you
that
get a lot.
came. Is this a spoon that came with the MRE or something?
Shut your mouth, he's eating.
It's so awful.
Stop eating.
Describe the awfulness.
Wait,
please.
put some peppers in it.
I'm having
What?
I'm having flashbacks to Iskandaria. I can't do this.
Now, just think if it was mac and cheese that was made to last 3 years.
If they
Have
make
you-
cheese that can stand the test of time,
How old was that particular MRE?
I will be the first to try it.
I think he
How
said it
old
was
was
10
that
years
MRE?
old.
Since about
10
10
years
years
old.
From I bought this in 2000.
Bought it? You didn't take it home?
No. This was from. I actually ordered them from a freaking survival site.
So you're a glutton for punishment. That's
No,
good to know.
Hey, you better
He
eat
was
them
worried-
Tootsie
I know, he
Rolls.
was worried about the zombie apocalypse coming.
I ordered them so that I could make my daughter eat one.
Oh, wow.
Oh, you're a horrible father.
So,
10 years
What the heck's wrong
other
with
than
you, man?
washing her mouth out with soap, he was
You
going
know what?
to
No, she asked.
Okay.
She wanted one. And I
I
was
love
you know
that
what?
idea. I
all
love that
right.
idea. We're going to wash your mouth out with soap. No, I'd prefer the chicken tetrazzini.
One last thing to do. Somebody's got to talk about it.
We need to talk.
You talking to me?
Oh my God! Who told you?
Have you told anyone else about this?
What you talking about?
Look who's talking.
These are the stories that are the weird, the odd, the funny things that pop up in the headlines that we figure somebody's got to talk about, and why not us? And this is something that we like to talk about often, and just the sheer factor, like if it was anybody else, this would just be a joke. There would be no way that this is happening. But Nick Cage is making another movie, and the movie's called Pig. And the movie's about a truffle hunter played by Nick Cage that's trying to find his pig.
I think
Did he-
Ron just ate it.
Academy Award nominee for Best Picture, right there.
Did he literally hit the bottom of the pile of scripts that's literally on his desk every day? Because that's the worst thing I can imagine.
He ran out.
He's like, I've already made every other movie idea that's ever been presented to me. Trouble Pig? Yeah, let's do that.
Ruru 2 in the chat's like, it's Babe 3.
Yeah, they're not hunting truffles. They're hunting
The quest for
other pigs.
bacon.
Exactly. The quest for bacon is
I
the
can see
perfect subtitle of
the line. That's it. We gotta find my pig, for I am the truffle hunter.
This subtitle is That'll Do Pig.
It's gonna be a B-rated John Wick because someone's gonna kill it.
Yeah, but if it was a John Wick, they'd have to kill 400 other versions of
I
it.
think that's the route that this film is going to go. I think it's going to be him, this truffle hunter, going nuts insane, killing people, trying to find his pig, that somebody kidnapped his pig.
That would be amazing.
Waterworld on land.
It's like a batshit crazy Taken. That's so cool.
No, even better. He plays the son of the farmer from Babe. Babe. Somebody has killed Babe, and now he needs revenge.
Nope, I've got one even better than that.
Oh, that's gonna be hard.
Charlotte's Web too.
Oh wait, no, he is gonna be like John Wick, because the script is based on a story that he'll play a truffle hunter living alone in the wilderness in Oregon. When his beloved foraging pig is kidnapped, he must journey into Portland and his long abandoned past to recover her.
This is everything that I envisioned when you
John Wick.
everything I envisioned.
I got it. I know what they're gonna do. He's gonna go in there and he's gonna have to actually replay all of his worst movies. So they're gonna start with Ghost Rider.
Oh, he's gonna do a Shia LaBeouf style watching.
What's going to end up happening is he's going to go full Nick Cage and do every single personality from every single one of his movies, just like Abed with full Cage in that episode of Community where he's just like, all right, yeah.
Put the money back in the box.
Put the pig down.
That's it.
Put the pig
I'm going
back
to
in
steal
the
the Declaration of Independence.
We've
We've
already wrote a better movie than it's
Yeah.
going to be.
That line has to be in there now, though. I need put the pig back in the pen.
Oh my god.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
This has been a show, man.
That's the show.
Welcome to
That's
the Rock.
That's tonight's show. That has gone all different places.
Nick Cage's real personality has finally translated perfectly onto the screen.
This
This is definitely the man who would spend $150,000 on
on a Tyrannosaurus skull.
Exactly.
Ruru2 said in the chat room, there's a treasure map tattooed on the pig.
There's a treasure map tattooed on Nicolas Cage's ass.
There's gotta be. And you know where it leads? A black hole.
Three
Three of
super massive black
Coming
holes.
together.
Three colliding.
Coming together.
Yes. Oh God. Okay.
I'm out. I'm done. That's
If you guys like what we do here, if you're listening to this on Spotify, on Stitcher,
Then I'm
on
sorry.
Apple Podcasts, on YouTube, wherever you're checking it out, please make sure to subscribe. Please drop a review. Please give us your thoughts on anything that we talked about. If you want to help us out and you want to support us, head over to malice-corp.com. And if you're going to be going to Amazon, make sure you go there first. Click through to our Amazon links. When you're purchasing your stuff, we get things back. It helps us. You can also support us here on Twitch by hitting the subscribe button. Doesn't cost too much, especially if you have Amazon Prime. That means you have Twitch Prime, which means you give a free 30-day subscription every month to a channel.
Costs
Why
you
not give
nothing.
it to us? We greatly appreciate it. Thank you so much for helping support us. Let's talk about where you can follow everybody outside of the show. First and foremost, I don't know, Whiskey, where can people follow you?
Everyone can follow me. I'm at Das Newport Kid on both Twitter and Instagram. I'm also Das Newport Kid on both Xbox Live and PlayStation Network. Look for me. And I have to go because I have to clean up chicken tetrazzini. It's everywhere.
I was about to say, you look like you're going to have to follow him to the bathroom because he's about to lose some chicken.
It's gone.
So happy right now. So happy.
Fortnite Blood Sword, where can people follow you?
That sounds like a bad medical condition.
No. You guys can follow me. Follow me on Twitter at MyFreakMLG. You guys can also follow me at on Xbox and PlayStation Network at Mindley, MINDLEY, Cyrus.
Pickle
I like it.
PlayStation.
Thank you.
PlayStation. Where can people follow you, and what movie can they next see you in?
Oh Christ!
No, please don't give us a movie title.
PlayStation. Yeah.
Tickle my pickle.
You can follow me at Icy Zora on Twitter, Instagram, and PlayStation.
Twilight Wrestler. Remember when
So much worse than mine.
Twilight Wrestling or where
Twilight
can people follow
Wrestler.
you?
Yeah, that's
You're good.
name.
You're good. You're good.
So much judging.
You can follow me on Twitter at Masonic Vader. Follow me at PlayStation Masonic Vader 71, and hopefully soon to come back soon to Smack Talk. But right now my eyes are hurting too much from the crying from tonight.
Okay. If you want to follow me, Quiche Boba Fett, you can follow me on Twitter at Mest_Malice Corp or on Instagram at Mest5150. Follow this podcast at All Nerd Podcast on Twitter. Follow us at Malice Corp on Instagram, and follow us on Facebook at the All Things Nerd Podcast Facebook group. Come chit chat with us. Come talk with us. Come drop interesting gifts. Have fun. We're around for all of it. Once again, thank you guys for staying here for our long podcast this week. You keep nerding on, and we will see you next Friday.
Hey, I got my musket loaded, ready to go. Pew.
Carry on.
Are you still eating, by the way, dude? I saw you chewing, dude. You still eating some of that?
I tried the Tootsie Roll.
God,
okay.
Well, you have to eat the Tootsie Roll.